Friday night, see the schedule at KOAMNewsNow.com. KOAM Skyview, bringing you the big picture. KOAM News Now.
Right now at 5, the Missouri Department of Conservation releases numbers on the recently ended deer hunting season.
And things looking much better across the area on this Thursday morning. We're going to have another warm day, and then it's not going to be so warm. Take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, how you might be able to save some money this tax season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So, boy, it is much better out there today.
Woo, right?
And
we made
folks
it.
At home probably noticed I was not feeling too well yesterday. Some folks noticed that something was off. I'm much better today.
Good.
Apparently, the cure for not feeling well is Conair.
That's what you're telling us.
I was watching that last night, and I swear it was like magic. Suddenly, I was feeling better. You know what else is magic? Take a look at the bottom of your screen. You know what's not down there?
School closures.
Lists of closings.
Back
you
to
know who's
school.
not here with me this morning and is probably sleeping and ever so happy about it? My middle son, Colt. Mm-hmm. He's been here working practically the last 5 or 6 days,
Finally,
it seems. So, yeah, now he can go back to school and he can sleep. But for the rest of us who are still waking up, getting our day ready to make sure the kids get on the bus in case they forgot where their bus is or where their school is after all these days off, this is what we're looking at. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Considerably less snow out there on the ground, so we're able, I feel much more comfortable pointing it back the way it's supposed to be. Take a look at MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Again, there's still some patchy snow up against curbs and in some areas that didn't see as much sun, so like north sides of buildings, things like that. But outside of that, we got rid of a lot of it, and anything that's left is going to be gone after today. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing some light flurries here and there. We mentioned that would be a possibility, and not all of this necessarily reaching the ground. I mean, take a look at this loop. It's doing its best to pick up on what it believes is and is not snow out there. We do have, unfortunately, because we're going to get cold again, we have wind chill advisories, and again, there's 4 different weather offices that cover us. So we have these advisories right through here that go until 11 a.m. Saturday. All of these go until noon Saturday, and then Oklahoma and Arkansas run until noon tomorrow. So bear that in mind that it's going to be getting cold over the next couple of days. 29 in Joplin, 30 in Pittsburgh, and haven't seen this graphic in a hot minute. Put some gas in that bus. Kids getting on this morning, 25 degrees, mostly clear skies, south breeze 5 to 10. Switching out of the west later, clouds increasing, but temperatures increasing as well. Look at this. We're going to be a little warmer than what we were thinking maybe as we go into the low 40s across the area. Again, mostly cloudy skies. Winds will start to pick up a little later this evening ahead of some big changes in our temperatures. We'll have a full look at that forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation released an update to a shooting investigation in Miami. As you may recall, the Miami Police Department requested the OSBI to assist with a homicide investigation on the evening of January 5th. Agents have determined there was an altercation involving multiple people near 2nd Avenue and H Street in Miami. That incident led to the shooting death of 27-year-old Matthew Vincent Locastro. Authorities have not made any arrests in that case. Dunweg authorities released an update to a stabbing incident at a bus stop last week. Last Thursday, Jasper County deputies responded to an assault call at the bus station in Dunweg. Deputies found an 18-year-old man from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, with severe injuries to his neck. The man was transported to a local hospital. He has since been released and is recovering. The case is still active, and detectives are asking for the public for assistance. And Joplin police are just now releasing information about a crash that happened last week, killing a pedestrian. It happened last Thursday at the intersection of East 32nd Street and South Finley Ave. Police say a vehicle traveling west on 32nd Street hit a pedestrian crossing the street. That pedestrian, 59-year-old William Heskett III of Joplin, died of his injuries on Sunday. This marks the second fatal vehicle versus pedestrian crash of the year in Joplin. In Carthage, first responders were called to the Jasper County Courthouse yesterday evening. Fire crews were alerted to an automatic water flow alarm at 6:48 p.m. It is suspected that a line had frozen during the colder temperatures and burst open when it had thawed. The extent of the damage is unknown at this time as water was coming down from the ceiling. Power is shut off for now till a full assessment can be done, and several court proceedings will be affected by the power outage. You can see the full list on the Jasper County, Missouri website. And you're invited to a public meeting next week to discuss a plan to widen Joplin's West 20th Street. That meeting will be at Twin Hills Country Club Thursday, January 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. The city is in the preliminary phase of the project that would widen and improve 20th Street west of Schifferdecker Avenue. The city is specifically looking for input from that property owners in the area. And the deer hunting season that just ended in Missouri appears to be a record breaker. That's according to preliminary numbers from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Missouri's 2023-24 deer hunting season ended on Monday. The department says in total, hunters killed more than 326,000 deer in the state. That beats the 2006 record by about 500. The NBC attributes the increase to a larger deer population and regulation changes that allowed more hunting permits. And as tax season inches closer, credits for residential energy are available to some filers. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The federal government is encouraging everyone to improve home energy by offering tax credit. Credit for improving home insulation ranges between $250 to $2,000.
For example, if you're able to take a $2,000 credit for insulating your home, that's $2,000 less in taxes that you'll have to pay in the year. So that can be pretty substantial for some people.
The credit only applies to improvements made during the year that's filed, meaning the work had been done in 2023.
We want to see people renovate their homes to make sure that they're energy efficient, saving energy, but also saving them money not only on their taxes but their monthly bills.
Bruce Poland is a manager at the Villas at Creekside, a 55 and older community in Pittsburgh. While residents may not reap the benefits of the tax credit, Poland says they appreciate the energy efficient homes for other reasons.
As hot as we had last summer, the biggest bill that they had was $142 gas and electricity. And that's with the heat. They're very, very well built.
That applies even in the winter.
Throughout the holidays, and I use the gas fireplace, and I bake a lot, and my gas bill was only $84, which is the cheapest gas bill I've ever had. My gas bill in the wintertime used to run around $160.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Right now, the IRS says it'll begin accepting 2023 tax returns on January 29th. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Missouri Southern Women's Hoops is the hottest team in the MIAA. Can they keep it up? Plus, 2 members of Great Britain's royal family are having medical issues. We'll have the details. And temperatures are warming up again today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Adventures can be both big and small. That's why we created the Ford Explorer.
Another option. It quickly eliminates migraine pain.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness.
Ask about Ubrelvy.
Well, Missouri Southern Women's Hoops is the hottest team in the MIAA, winners of 8 in a row entering yesterday evening's contest at Washburn. Picking things up in the 4th, the Lions in control all game. Ryan Franklin down low. Little spot jumper is good. It's at 52-35 MSSU, and they kept it coming. Moran Myers dials it up from distance and hits. Washburn trying to claw back. Aubrey Dewey straight to the rack and gets the floater to drop 64-44. Washburn still down. A little later, Maya Davison muscling her way up to the bucket and converts through contact. The Vods just couldn't catch up. Randy Hudson puts the finishing touches on this one with the deuce. The Lions take down Washburn 69-50. They've won 9 in a row. Now, the men to follow, looking to stay undefeated at Lee Arena. The big man Andrew Orr gets the game's first bucket with the mid-range J. On the other end, Vincent Sigmund Jr. from deep and splash. 5-4 Lions. The Vods with the response. Brady Christensen to beat the shot clock and knock it down moments later. Braden Shorter, top of the key from downtown, and pours it in. Bod's leading. Lions say, not so fast. Darius Dawson lines up his own triple, and that's good. 9-8 game. But Shorter here gets the rock once more in the corner, and then gets another one. But let's end it on this in style. Michael Keegan gets the steal, fast break, and flies through the air for the thunderous one-hand jam. My goodness, Washburn a little bit too much for Missouri Southern to handle. The Lions fall 70-65. Pittsburgh State basketball also on the road in the MIAA yesterday evening. Tough showing for the Gorilla women's team. They lose 71-59 to Emporia State in a game where they shot 3 of 20 from beyond the three-point arc. PSU has now lost 3 of its last 4 games and is likely to fall out of the top 25 after this. Same result for the men's team. The Gorillas fall to the Hornets 70-61 on the road. 4 different players on Emporia State scored double-figure points, including Solomon Oragbu, who finishes with a game-high 21. Max Alexander and reigning MIAA Player of the Week, Marquis English, combined for 31 in a losing effort. Over to high school basketball. The second round of the Tony DuBray Classic tips off at Liberal High School. In the girls bracket, we have a showdown between 2 of our local teams. Galena taking on undefeated Colgan. Bulldogs striking first, and from deep at that, Arista Sturgis knocks down the long ball. Quick answer back on the inside from Colgan's Lily Brown. 2-3 Bulldogs. Lily Brown back on the inside, fouled, and add one more, diving into the lane between defenders. Riley Boys scoops up the layup for 2 more. Pass deflected, and Brown's off to the races as defense creates offense. 7-5 Colgan. Defense is what's for dinner for Jacayla Davis as she gets a hand in passing lane, takes off to build that lead. 2 more for Colgan. Panthers coast to a victory 66-26. They'll play in the tournament championship on Saturday evening. Well, still to come, why a new study shows more people under 50 are getting cancer. We'll have the latest on that. Plus, one more warm day and then the Arctic weather settles in, at least briefly. We'll look at all that in that forecast when we come back.
Family member in need of care in the home? Phoenix provides...
Nominations are open for the 4 states' finest. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 now on this Thursday morning. Lots of kids going back to school today. I know some made it back yesterday. Just about all of you going back today because those closings, yeah, they're not scrolling across the bottom of your screen. I am sorry about that for those kids who were not quite ready yet. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, getting a breeze out there, and considerably clearer roadways across the area, even on the side streets. Now, some of this did refreeze, but you're going to find that most of what refroze is going to be on your sidewalks and your driveways. So when you're going out to your car, watch out for that ice, because if you don't, you may slip. I did not, but I'm just giving you a heads up about that potential ice. MoDOT camera 20th and range line also looking considerably better out there, and same from the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh. You remember yesterday we had snowpack still on the shoulders, but where we were able to get that sunshine a lot better. However, we have this to contend with. Now, again, a number of different forecast offices cover us, and that's what makes this a little more difficult. But through noon Friday, Oklahoma and Arkansas, wind chill advisories. Everybody else, it either goes until 11 Saturday or noon Saturday, but they at least run until Saturday. That's because we could see some dangerously cold wind chills out there again. Skywatch Storm Tracker, not much on it. We tried to get some bouts of light snow and some flurries in there, but there's really just not much happening. And we mentioned that yesterday. It was unlikely we were going to see too much today. Or overnight, whenever it was. You know what I'm talking about. 29 in Joplin, feels like 22. Clear skies out there. Southeast breeze at about 7 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region considerably better than where we have been for sure. Upper 20s, low 30s across the area. We do have wind chills, but also not too bad. They're cold, but they are so much better considering that 2 days ago there were negative signs in front of these numbers. In fact, take a look at this. We're upwards of 15 to almost 30 degrees warmer now than where we were even yesterday morning across the area. So a much better day. Unfortunately, cold air is going to settle in again. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Through the rest of the day, we're going to start the day sunny. We're going to start to see clouds increasing later. We're going to go upper 30s by late morning, and we are looking at highs, some of us low 40s out there under mostly cloudy skies with a west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour across the area. We head into this evening. Later this evening, winds are going to pick up, hence the wind chill advisory, and temperatures are going to begin to drop behind a cold front out there, and then they're going to fall pretty darn far. We're talking about 10 for an overnight low tonight. As we go into our Friday, not much better. We're looking at 21 for the high, 7 for the low tomorrow night, a little better for at least the low Saturday night, 18, 22 on Saturday. Yeah, and it's going to be breezy tomorrow, hence why those wind chill advisories continue through at least Saturday. Then we start to head into next week. Now, Monday could be chilly enough. We could see a bit of a wintry mix in the morning, but then we're going to warm up, and we're going to talk about rain chances, and it's going to be rain chances through at least Friday of next week, but otherwise not looking bad. Look at these temperatures climbing into the upper 40s, low 50s, upper 50s by next Saturday. Might as well open the pool by next Saturday compared to where we've been the last several days across the area. So we're going to get there. We just have one more little Arctic blast here, and then temperatures are going to be considerably better. Let's check your forecast. We've got Health Watch right after this.
The ALB Autos Buy Here, Pay Here, Frontenac, Kansas.
Every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., play for your chance to win up to $5,000 cash.
Topping Health Watch this morning, in Michigan, one young teenage girl's efforts are proving once again that one person can make a difference. 14-year-old Zoe Harrison used her pie-making skills to raise money for life-saving equipment for her local fire department. David Sackrider has a story.
My goal was only $4,000, and I raised over $10,000.
Harrison was recovering from a surgery when she saw the equipment used to rescue someone trapped in a grain bin on TV. She called her local fire department to see if they had one.
They didn't have it, and they applied for grants 2 times, and they were denied. And so that's how I started, because I wanted to help our fire department get the equipment they need to save lives.
Chief David Nelson with the Gratiot Emergency Services Authority says he was touched by Harrison's offer, but he thought it might be a little ambitious.
I thought it was a challenge. I figured she'd raise a couple $1,000s and that would be it.
Harrison visited local businesses to ask for donations and gave a pie to everyone who donated over $80. She baked 44 pies in total. One business in particular surprised her by donating the exact amount she was asking for.
I pitched my idea to someone at McDonald's, and then I went with my friend and I sat down to get some food, and a manager came out to me and said that they heard my idea and they would like to help and donate one of the sets for free.
The $4,000 donation from McDonald's allowed the fire department to purchase 2 sets of the equipment. Harrison says she's happy they could get them before a tragedy occurs.
My dad told me that it usually starts at the tragedy, and we have to wait for someone to die first to get this equipment. But why do we wait if we can raise it now?
The local fire chief says that the equipment has been ordered and should be ready to be put into use in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And if you love your daily cup of OJ, maybe think of swapping to an actual orange instead. A new analysis of prior studies found drinking a glass of more than 100% fruit juice each day was linked to weight gain in children and adults. Doctors say it's likely because you can easily gulp down too much in one sitting. The issue at hand is how the juice impacts the body. Fruits have natural sugar that slowly releases into the body, but when drinking it as juice, it floods the system. Doctors say fruit juice should be seen as an occasional sweet treat and not a way to quench thirst. And more people under 50 are getting cancer. According to a report released Wednesday by the American Cancer Society, the under 50 age group was the only adult demographic group that saw an overall increase in cancer cases between 1995 and 2020. According to the American Cancer Society report, colorectal cancer has become the leading cause of cancer death in men under 50 and the second leading cause in women under 50. In the late 1990s, colorectal cancer ranked 4th for both men and women younger than 50. The report projects that there will be about 2 million new cancer cases in the U.S. this year and about 600,000 cancer deaths. And it's a dangerous condition that can happen quickly when a person is exposed to extremely cold weather. Frostbite causes a loss of feelings and colors in areas that are affected and can cause permanent damage. Because the extremities get numb, many people may not even know it's happening. Mandy Gaither has more on how to prevent and spot it and then treat frostbite.
In frigid cold, it can happen within minutes.
Unfortunately, frostbite is a real concern.
Emergency physician Mark Conroy with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says the parts of our bodies that are farthest away from the core are most vulnerable to frostbite, including ears, nose, fingers, and toes.
By the time you hit true frostbite, when you're damaging the tissues of your body, things are typically numb, so you don't necessarily feel them.
That's why you need to know the signs, including a white or grayish yellow skin area, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, and numbness. If any of these symptoms are present, Conroy says to get out of the cold right away, shed wet clothing, and start to slowly rewarm the body with dry blankets and lukewarm water.
You don't want to, go too close to a fire because some of the ways that we can rewarm ourselves can actually hurt us further.
You can also help prevent frostbite by wearing waterproof clothing and footwear. Wear gloves and keep other extremities like ears and your nose covered as well. And Taylor says not to drink alcohol.
You might be suffering from the cold more than you realize if you've had something to drink before heading outside.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health experts say to also be aware of hypothermia, a dangerous condition caused by prolonged exposures to frigid temperatures. Warning signs include confusion and slurred speech. A person who develops hypothermia needs immediate medical attention. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got another warm day out there, so most of our remaining melting should take place. We'll take another look at your forecast when we come back.
Of this melty fan favorite. In finance, they call that one heck of a deal. $1.99 Sonic quarter-pound double cheeseburger.
Right now at 5:30, cold weather has meant big business for some area plumbers.
And we've got ourselves a chilly start out there, warming up again today ahead of some cooler temperatures. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, the Gordon Marks Museum hosts its Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration after it was postponed because of the weather.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:31 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So, again, another chilly start, but nowhere near as cold as where we have been.
It's manageable.
It is.
Stand it now.
Getting in the car, my buns weren't freezing as soon as I sat down in the seat, and it didn't take the car, the entire drive up here to warm up either. It's kind of nice. And, of course, if you'll note at the bottom of your screen, there's something absent. Kids, I'm sorry. It's time to go back to class. It's only 2 days, though. Remind yourself that, because I know some of you aren't quite ready. Just remind yourself it's only 2 days this week. You have 2 days to kind of ease back in, and then next week they're going to throw the whole thing at you because it's not going to be that cold or snowy next week. Outside right now, our camera, the MoDOT cameras. This is not ours. This belongs to MoDOT at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Considerably better road conditions. We got some clouds out there across the area. They're going to clear out, and then they will make a return as we go later into the morning and afternoon across the area. Try to get a few light flurries here and there, but as we mentioned yesterday, wasn't expected to add up to much, and it most certainly did not. We have wind chill advisories across the area, but as mentioned, a number of different weather offices cover our area, so they have very wide expiration times. Sometimes they're a little closer than this. This time they're not. Oklahoma, Arkansas, they run through noon tomorrow. This section of southeast Kansas, they run until 11 on Saturday morning, and then here and east, they run until noon on Saturday. So either way, it's going to get pretty darn cold as we head into tonight and our Saturday. All right, 29 in Joplin right now, 30 in Pittsburgh. We are almost 20 some odd degrees warmer now than where we were yesterday morning at this time, which is a nice way to start the day. 25 when the kids get on the bus, south breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour, just a few clouds out there. Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Temperatures, though, look at that. We're looking at low 40s, west breeze 5 to 10 with some occasional gusts out there. The winds won't really start to pick up until we head into the evening and overnight hours. Again, looking at highs right around the low 40s, clouds increasing, going mostly cloudy heading through the afternoon and evening hours. And then a cold front's going to roll through and drop the temperatures pretty significantly again, hence those wind chill advisories. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The cold temperatures hitting the 4 states have impacted positively some local plumbers. MVP Plumbing says the number of clients they are attending daily doubled in the last week and a half. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric is also dealing with an increase, and according to their service manager, his team have been working until bedtime every day.
I've never wanted to do dishes so much in my life. There was a lot of things that I couldn't do, like dishes. I couldn't wipe the counters off, cleaning.
If you go ahead and wait, it could go ahead and expand the pipe, and it'll go ahead and happen like what happened on this case. The pipe went ahead and expanded, and it broke on the CPVC.
To avoid frozen pipes, their recommendations for the freezing days are leaving the faucets dripping and the cabinets open. You can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com to learn other strategies to help avoid frozen pipes. And some kids in Joplin took advantage of the slightly warmer temperatures for some sledding. Murphy Boulevard Park proved the perfect launch pad for the sledding fun. One sledder said it's something she loves to do when given the chance.
It feels really fun having to come out here and play in the snow. We've done this for a lot of Christmases and a lot of New Year's, so yeah, it's pretty fun.
The good news is area kids can probably expect a few more prime sledding days before winter is over. And residents of Fort Scott were invited to Fort Scott Community College to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The event, which was supposed to take place on Monday, was delayed due to weather. Residents were encouraged to participate in a food drive for the community. Everyone who came was treated to a free lunch, then were invited to listen to a musical performance.
If you don't learn, you stop growing. So you have to learn and open up and learn new things. And each year I learn how much that Martin Luther King has affected everybody from all walks of life, from all ages too as well.
The college has hosted this event for 12 years. And some students in Arma, Kansas yesterday learned about the importance of traffic safety, and Miss Kansas stopped by to help teach them that lesson. Miss Kansas Courtney Wages is partnering with the Kansas Traffic Safety Resource Office for its SAFE campaign. Yesterday, the campaign taught students at Northwest High School how they can protect themselves while on the road.
So personally, I talk about my platform, which is called One Vision is Not the Only Vision, advocating for vision awareness and blind and visually impaired communities, and how a car crash can result in a disability such as vision awareness and result in many other tragedies that we don't want to happen in Kansas.
The SAFE program stands for Seatbelts Are for Everyone. And Liberal High School is showing off the art of some former students. The exhibit features the post-graduation work of several Liberal alumni. The art wasn't judged and no prizes were up for grabs. It was simply a chance to display the art. The showcase runs throughout the Tony DeBray tournament. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Over 2 million Russians pledged to support Russian President Vladimir Putin in his re-election bid. Plus, a prosecutor investigating the armed attack at a TV station in Ecuador is assassinated. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
News is sponsored by Aaron Sachs and Associates, proud partner of Travis Kelsey and his foundation, 87 and running.
Topping World Watch, 2 members of Great Britain's royal family are having medical issues, forcing them to delay planned public appearances over the coming weeks. Senior Foreign Affairs correspondent Greg Palkut has the story.
Just a few weeks ago, the UK royal family was all smiles as they greeted crowds after a Christmas church service. King Charles III, his wife Queen Camilla, as well as family, including the Prince and Princess of Wales, all showing a united front to welcome the new year. Outings like this will likely not happen again for a while. The Princess of Wales, formerly known as Kate Middleton, has been hospitalized. Kensington Palace saying the princess checked into a private clinic Tuesday for a planned abdominal surgery. While the palace didn't offer exact details, they did say the condition wasn't cancerous, and her recovery is expected to take weeks. Kensington Palace saying in a statement, Princess Kate, quote, hopes the public will understand her desire to maintain as much normality for her children as possible, and her wish that her personal medical information remains private. Moments later, in a surprise move, Buckingham Palace also made headlines after announcing the king will also be having a surgery. He'll undergo a corrective procedure next week and will be postponing all planned public engagements. A statement saying, in part, quote, in common with thousands of men each year, the king has sought treatment for an enlarged prostate. His Majesty's condition is benign. It's a rare move by both palaces, as the royal family is notorious for saying little, and even more so when it comes to their health. But many see it also as a publicity move by the king to encourage other men to get their prostate checked, as enlarged prostate is common in men over 50. While Buckingham Palace hasn't said how long the king will be away, Kensington Palace has already said that the princess will return to public duties after Easter, the end of March.
Heavy snow and freezing rain across Germany is creating chaos on transportation across the country. Over 500 flights have been canceled at Frankfurt Airport, Germany's busiest, while hundreds more have been grounded at several other airports. National train operator Deutsche Bahn canceled several long-distance trains due to the wintry weather and reduced the maximum speed for its high-speed trains. The freezing rain has also led to many accidents on icy roads early Wednesday. Many schools and some companies offered employees the option of working from home as a precaution. And over 2 million Russians pledged to support Russian President Vladimir Putin in his re-election bid. Residents signed documents in Moscow Wednesday in support of Putin's candidacy. Under Russian law, independent candidates must gather at least 300,000 signatures from 40 regions or more in order to get on the ballot. Putin is running for a new 6-year term in the March election. The Election Commission has already approved 3 candidates who are nominated by parties represented in Parliament, so they don't require signatures. They include Balsaviv Davidov and of the New People Party, Nikolai Karadanov of the Communist Party, and Leonid Slutsky of the Nationalist Liberal Democratic Party. All 3 parties are mostly supportive of the Kremlin's policies. And a prosecutor investigating the armed attack at a TV station in Ecuador is assassinated. Prosecutor Cesar Suarez was shot and killed while driving Wednesday in Guayaquil, the most dangerous city in Ecuador. Suarez has taken on other high-profile investigation in the past. He was in charge of a case involving a drug lord who received preferential treatment from police officers, judges, and prosecutors. Last week, armed men stormed into a TV station that was broadcasting live. 13 people have since been arrested, and Ecuador has been rocked by the series of violence, leading President Daniel Noboa to declare a state of emergency. Ecuadorian police say they are working to find who is responsible for Suarez's murder. And President Biden hosted congressional leaders at the White House Wednesday. They are trying to make progress on the national security package, which has been held up by Republicans over the border crisis. White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich has the details.
President Biden convening some of his national security team to impress upon congressional leaders that the U.S. must resume aid or Ukraine will be kneecapped on the battlefield.
If we just pack it in and can't get the funding and decide that's it, we're not going to provide anything more for Ukraine, you can certainly see where there may be other nations who might feel like they want to follow suit.
But that's not likely to move the needle for Republicans in both chambers who won't agree to Ukraine funding without substantive border policy reforms.
And if you want a deal, Mr. President, stop abusing parole. This is a red line for all of us.
We understand the necessity about Ukraine funding, and we want to say that the status quo is unacceptable.
The White House describes border negotiations with Senate Republicans as heading in the right direction, but there appears to be a hang-up.
The president himself said over and over again that he is willing to move forward on border. And so we said we have to do both. There were a couple of people in the room who said, let's do border first.
The Republican message to the administration:
if this parole authority means that much to you to let Western Europe crumble, so be it.
Even while telling Republican colleagues not to hold out for a better border deal.
To those who think that if President Trump wins, which I hope he does, that we can get a better deal, you won't. You got to get 60 votes in the United States Senate.
The White House, meantime, has no kind words for the House GOP.
House Republicans get in the way.
They wanted to literally eliminate 2,000 Border Patrol agents in this particular act that they touted, that they voted for back in May.
That claim is not true. The bill they're referring to made no specific cuts. In fact, House Republicans even passed bills that would have hired even more agents. But the White House is not backing down from that claim, even though the Washington Post fact-checkers gave them 3 Pinocchios for it.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
In Psalm 51, David, the sweet singer of Israel, the man after God's own heart.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:47 on this Thursday morning. We are taking a live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Got a bit of a breeze out there. It's a little chilly, but not overly so. It's much better than where we have been here lately, and the road's looking much better. You can see that from MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looks like still, a little bit of white stuff there on the median, but nothing like what we saw yesterday or the days prior. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh, plentiful sunshine, made it out here to 69, and we had snow on the shoulders. We do not this morning. We have wind chill advisories across the area. Wind chill is going to get pretty darn cold over the next couple of days. Again, because we have so many forecast offices that cover us, and these are locally issued, they all have different expiration times because why not, So for this section of southeast Kansas, they run until 11 o'clock on Saturday. From here east, they run until noon on Saturday. And then for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas, they run until noon on Friday. So keep that in mind that regardless, it's going to be getting pretty chilly. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we tried to get a few flurries again earlier this morning, but those have since fizzled out and gone away, and we're left with some clouds out there. However, those will clear out, and then clouds will return later today as we head into our Thursday afternoon. 29 in Joplin right now. It feels like 22 with a southeast breeze at 7, so that is cold, but at least that doesn't say feels like negative 22 as we saw a couple of days ago. Temperatures upper 20s and low 30s across the area, and as we factor in the wind, there's a bit of a breeze, but as you can see, not nearly as significant as what we had seen. Wind chills into the 20s, so still cold, but not nearly as cold as it has been. You'll still want to bundle up, especially with all the kids going back to school today. They're going to want to put a nice coat on this morning. Despite that, though, look at this. We're upwards of 15 to 20 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago, so talk about a nice improvement across the area. As we go through our morning, again, initially, sunny skies, then we'll start to see clouds gradually increasing. We're going to go upper 30s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, take a look at these highs. Low 40s out there, which will make it even harder to believe what's about to roll in, tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. As we go into the afternoon and into the evening, winds will start picking up tonight behind a cold front, and that's going to begin to drop our temperatures pretty significantly as we fall back into the teens tonight. Only looking at 20s for highs on Friday and Saturday, and still breezy on Friday, with those gusts pushing 30 miles an hour. Once we get through that, clouds return. Could see a light wintry mix Monday morning, then temperatures warm, and temperatures continue to warm as we head into next week. Upper 40s, low 50s, and even upper 50s by next Saturday with some rain chances Monday through Friday. So warmer weather on the way, just one more little Arctic blast that we've got to deal with. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Nominations are open for the 4 states' finest. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com/you to become a part of our Phoenix family. Whether you're a caregiver, nurse, or client, we look forward to getting to know you. Reach out today.
A winter storm miracle in a little Iowa town last Friday. A doctor driving an ATV through a massive snow pileup to make it happen. Sean McKinnon meets the parents of baby Burley and the doctor that delivered her.
Last Friday in Shenandoah, Iowa, time must have felt frozen. As sub-zero temps kept people indoors, the Gardners were on their way to the hospital. Mom Crystal Gardner was due, and Dr. Chase Brown knew his four-wheeler was the only way he'd make it there. He cleared snowdrifts by hitting them at 20 miles per hour.
Snow went everywhere, went flying in all directions, but you just keep going through to the next one.
And it wasn't just Dr. Brown. The whole medical team braved the snow and cold to make sure this baby would be delivered.
We knew he was going to get there. They all would get there for it.
The Gardners were blessed with a baby girl named Berkeley. At Tuesday's checkup, Brown says she's healthy as can be.
She's a very good baby. We couldn't have asked for more perfection, so.
Her siblings can't put her down.
Does Leia share at all? I bet she doesn't share much.
She tries not to, but
Despite Berkeley being born in a winter storm,
she doesn't like to be out of her blanket, out of her swaddle, nothing. And she hates the cold.
For Brown, there was never a question he'd make it. In fact, he's gone to 3 deliveries now by four-wheeler.
Again, no matter what's coming, we're there to take care of people.
And while time might move slowly in this small town, there's no snow day for a baby ready to meet the world.
This is a dream come true for me. To be here in a small town and provide the care we can in experiences like this is just how I imagined I'd be a doctor one day.
What an amazing story. We'll be right back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Dow Quick, and I'm today. See you at the theater.
Disney Plus is adding a new dimension for its viewers. Disney says the streaming platform will be available on Apple's Vision Pro headset when it goes on sale. Subscribers will get to watch select content in 3D and can choose Disney-themed screening environments for their background. Apple says the movies can also be rented through its Apple TV app, and customers who already own the movies can access the 3D versions without an extra charge. Today, the nation celebrates a silly old bear. January 18th is National Winnie the Pooh Day. The unofficial holiday coincides with the creator's birthday. A.A. Milne based his stories about the actual fictional honey-loving bear on a black bear at the London Zoo during World War I. The author's son, Christopher Robin, adored the bear and is a featured character in his dad's stories. Disney bought the rights to Winnie the Pooh in the 1960s, but the original iteration of the character is now in the public domain after its copyright expired.
And we've got ourselves another warm day across the area ahead of some big changes coming in tonight. We're going to start the day sunny out there and eventually start to see clouds gradually increase this afternoon. We're going to go upper 30s by late morning, and that is ahead of highs looking to be in the low 40s across the area today under those mostly cloudy skies. Now heading into tonight through Saturday for some of us, we do have wind chill advisories out there. That's why. The winds are going to pick up tonight. Mostly cloudy. Temperatures are going to fall behind a cold front back down into the teens. And as we head into our Friday and Saturday, we've got 20s for highs, low 20s at that. Overnight lows, single digits and teens. Hence, again, the wind chill advisories. And we just have this one last Arctic blast out there. One more for the next several days at least until we see what else Mother Nature has in store for us. So we got to get through this cold stuff. And then we head into next week. We could start Monday with a wintry mix, but that's going to be peanuts compared to what we get the rest of the week. We're talking rain chances. We're talking temperatures upper 40s, low 50s, pushing near potentially 60 degrees by next Saturday across the area. So if we can get through tomorrow and Saturday, we're set up for some pretty decent weather over the next several days. Let's check your forecast. We have a whole nother hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
We offer pre-arrangement funeral plans at Bath Naylor and Frisco Funeral Home. Call us today.
Teeth are a